it's so easy and it's exciting to see all these transfers like Keon, even Jordan, Benson. I would like to ask all the fans out there to just take a moment and really appreciate the guys that have been on the roster, recruited by Florida State, who stuck with us through all those crappy years and what they must be experiencing. And very specifically, LT. What a run today, just hard-nosed. I love that dude with all my heart. I'm so happy he's a Nole. I wish him nothing but the best now and in his future prospects. But guys like that, I hope we really appreciate the guys that stuck with us and came here during the crappy years. Thank you, guys. Be blessed, everyone, and enjoy this ride.
This is about Noles football. How about that defense? I've been the Adam Fuller critic. I have been. But we are starting to do exactly what the fans thought we could do, and that's play dominating football. I love seeing that. That is the best thing about our team is when guys are flying around and playing good defense. Now, here's my question. And I know you guys were talking about it earlier. It's not really a question so much as a point. Like, as a coach, Mike is absolutely putting things on tape. Because if you went back and look at the LSU game, he is not even coming close to running those things. The closest thing he did was a trick play, right? But that was like not even – it was sort of where the trick play should happen. He is absolutely putting things on tape because he wants to see if the guys can execute it when the game is still in the balance, and he knows he's way better than Syracuse, right? And you want to have the players have that sense of urgency and see if they can do it. And that's the reason why he plays younger guys early. That's the reason why he does those fourth down conversions while the game's still in balance, because it's different. If he ran a 4th and goal when we're up 41-3, that feels a little different than running a 4th and goal when we're either the game is in the balance of the first or second quarter.
My 5-year-old son wants to say something.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
No, you're training them right.
I wanted to ask you guys. I mean, I think we all agree Keon definitely was the star, for today. But given that the showing of the defense was probably the best we've seen yet, I was wondering, one, who do you guys feel like would be the defensive MVP? Kind of leaning towards Shaheem Brown myself. I thought he made a lot of sneaky good plays throughout the entire game. But I was also wondering, too, if you guys feel like with the Duke game coming up, if our offense remains kind of inconsistent, could that maybe be a little bit closer of a game than we might anticipate? Or given that they're also improving each game, if that may not matter, we're going to take care of business. So just want to put that out there and to kind of get your guys' takes. But as always, appreciate all the feedback you guys give. It's great stuff.
Thank you very much, Vincent. We appreciate the call. Gene, do you have a defensive MVP at the top of your list?
I was looking at the stats back up what Vincent was saying. I mean, Shaheem Brown led the team in tackles with 7. He had a 1.5 tackles for loss. They were both a sack and a half. He had a pass breakup. I think I'm with you, Vincent. I agree. I thought he had a good game, and I just looked up the stats, and I think you're 100% on board. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, agreed. Once again, that's 7 tackles, 6 solo tackles for Shaheem Brown, which means a lot of open field chances that he shuts down, 1.5 sacks, and a pass breakup. That's tough to beat. I think if you're going to vote for somebody else, it's Josh Farmer, who only had 2 tackles, but Florida State did perform well against the run today, largely speaking, Gene. It looks like, there were a couple of broken runs later on.
Most was an end loss contained. They were able to go on the end. You saw very little between the tackles. The interior of the defensive line was very stout.
Exactly. And you don't always get credit for that in the way of tackles if you're a defensive interior player. So it's a thankless position to a degree, but then that splash play, even though it didn't lead to any points, that's a hell of a moment because we know how tough Garrett Schrader is to break down. So those are your 2 choices. I think Vincent is correct with Shaheem Brown. And as for the Duke question, yeah, Duke is a better team. So you have now seen progressively better opponents week to week here in this 3-game homestand for Florida State. I think Syracuse is a better football team overall than Virginia Tech, which makes this win more impressive. And then Duke is the best of the 3. And if Riley Leonard is back at quarterback, that presents challenges getting off the field, another challenge for the defense to continue the dominant run that it's on. But yeah, if the offense is inconsistent, Duke, Gene, might be in a position to take the ball away and do a little bit more than Syracuse could do today.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't, again, people we hear Duke. I think that's one stat left that didn't even get lost. So I don't think Florida State has ever lost to Duke still, right?
Correct.
So that's still out there. Yeah, this is the one thing they're going to do with Elko. They are very well coached. You're not going to get any freebies in this thing. Florida State's going to have to earn this. But so that's the point. The drops, some of the questionable calls, some of the missed throws, those opportunities, they're going to bite you in the ass against Duke. So you better be a little bit more buttoned up against them. But I think they're going to take Duke more seriously. They know what they are. It'll definitely be a different game. I'm kind of curious I'm curious your take of what you think the line will be. I think it'll be two different lines with or without Riley Leonard in the game. And I will say if Riley Leonard plays with a high ankle sprain, big part of his game is that mobility. I don't think if he plays this early coming off a high ankle sprain, I think part of that will be taken out of his game.
Sometimes the line is turned off until you know what a quarterback is going to do. But I'll guess that if they post one, Gene, and he doesn't, let's say he doesn't play tonight, and Elko says we hope to have
doubtful. He ain't playing tonight.
So let's say Elko says in the post game we hope to have him next week. Something in the middle in terms of his messaging. Yeah. I still think it's more than a touchdown. I think it's 8.5.
Yeah, I was thinking 9 going into this thing. I'm going to guess it's about 9 points. And if they say he's out, maybe 11, something like that.
Yep, I agree. Totally agree.